Studios. All right, we got a special guest, Letitia. How are you doing today?
I'm wonderful.
All right, we're gonna make you talk into that microphone. Bring it down to you. Get comfortable. There you go.
Okay,
There you
we're
go.
good.
All right, yeah, we are good. All right, so let me make an adjustment here. All right, got a little James Brown, blockbuster from Augusta. Yeah, so we're getting ready to get into some tax talk here. We got the tax diva in the studios, and she is on point today. Again, really happy about this segment and how we're able to give up those tax nuggets because people are struggling right now. People are scared. People are trying to get things right. People don't know what direction the country is going in. So it's a lot. It's a lot. So I'm gonna change over to some. Hold on for a second. We're gonna make another adjustment here. There we go. All right, here we go. There we go. We're gonna do that right there. All right. We get a little jazz going here. How you doing today,
I'm
Dr.
doing
Shanann?
fabulous, fabulous.
All right. Before we get into Letitia here, do your disclaimer.
I am not an attorney, but I do work with attorneys. So whatever I'm talking about, I get this from off the irs.gov. If you need legal advice, please seek the help of an attorney. And if you need one, I do have someone in my network. If you have tax questions above the norm, like auditing and things like that, because I see a lot of auditing going right now.
Right.
And guess what, Rodney? I had a client that did his 2024 taxes in another state in Arkansas, and his money, I right now his refund is almost $11,000, and we've been waiting and waiting and waiting. And I keep telling people, if you didn't do the previous years,
Right.
this is the catch 22, which is your 2025. If you did not do any years before 2023, they're gonna be holding on to your money.
Really?
Yes.
Now that's interesting. That's
Yes,
interesting.
and I said it before.
No, you did. You said it. I remember you saying it. Now, last week we got to talking about Trump's tariffs and that are hitting small businesses.
Right.
And so, if I'm just an everyday person, not a business owner, why should I care about these tariffs?
You have to care about the tariffs because it's causing all the things you're buying to be more expensive. You see it, right, Letitia?
100%.
Yeah, groceries is more expensive, gas is more expensive, food is expensive, taking a vacation is expensive. There's a lot of things that's getting more and more expensive.
Well, it's interesting because I think a lot of people are really stagnant right now.
Right.
They're walking in mud.
Right.
And so that brings me to what Letitia does.
Right.
And you help people, right? I hate this big old screen. I can't see your pretty face.
I see your eyes,
That's all.
girl.
You see my eyes. That's all she wants to see. But Letitia, this is a fantastic segment, and again, thank you for being here today. But this is a fantastic segment in what you help people do. So, for the listeners out there, let them know exactly what you do and how it plays into kind of what we're talking about here.
100%. Thank you so much for having me here. And I'm excited to be able to share about something that most people don't understand, which is corporate contracting. So, my firm, Savvy Diva Enterprises, we position small and diverse businesses to go into corporations and win big contracts.
Okay.
So, you probably heard a lot over the past few years about government
Right.
contracting. That was the buzz for a long, long time. But now that we're in this different economic climate, people that have really relied on those federal contracts are now looking to pivot.
Right.
And I'm encouraging
Wow.
anybody that has a business, if you are putting all your eggs in one basket, it is time to diversify. We can't put all of our revenue streams dependent on one single source. So now they're looking for opportunities to do business with state and local government and corporate contracting as well. So even within the corporate space, if you've got 80% of your revenues coming from one single customer, that's a risk. You've got to de-risk your business by spreading out your revenue stream so that you're not impacted by budget cuts or legislative changes or anything that can put your business at risk.
So
Makes
you
sense.
said something huge right there, and you said, because I mean the government, the IRS, all these layoffs and all these
Right.
terminations. The government, which used to be, people used to, oh boy, you work for the government, you got that good government job,
Yeah.
you good.
Secured for 30 years.
Yeah,
Not
that-
anymore.
Not anymore. That's turning around with this
Right.
current administration,
Right.
and so people need to find other. And you said it. It's time for you to diversify.
Right.
Now that's interesting. So what are you seeing out in the world, like different entrepreneurial segments and platforms that you're dealing with? What are you seeing in your profession?
Everything that the government buys, there's somebody in the private sector that's buying that as well. There's somebody at the state and local level that's buying that as well. So if you're supplying toilet paper
Right.
to the
Yeah.
DOD, well,
Yeah.
guess what?
Yeah.
Everybody else needs toilet paper too.
No, that's true.
So what I'm seeing is there are some shifts because we know with all of these executive orders around DE&I that now has made a lot of corporations start to change their language. Some are changing policies. Some are pulling back and saying, this isn't something that is a program or a policy at our company.
Right.
But guess what? The work is still being done.
Right.
So what I'm seeing is people are having to change the way that they talk about what they do.
Uh-huh.
If you're a woman owned business, if you are a minority owned business, don't lead with that.
Right.
Lead with the fact that I am a quality supplier. I can give you what you need
Right.
and do it well. I'm the best at what I do. And if I'm that corporate decision maker and I'm looking for someone to do some work for our company, I really don't care.
But you are.
Right.
You're a
Right.
woman,
No, that's
man.
interesting.
The
Pink,
stamp
blue.
the stamp on you doesn't mean anything to me.
Right.
I need to be able to get the work done under
Right.
budget and on time.
Right.
That's what I care
That's what's
about.
important.
100%.
Gotcha. So now I'm looking at these two divas in the studio today, and I'm looking at the hairdos.
Okay.
because Shannon, that's why we call you the tax diva.
Okay.
Because you always got it together. My first time meeting Letitia, you have a very nice haircut.
Thank you.
And it's something that's not natural. You have to get that done, and I get that. So what are you seeing as far as what you guys go through? Are all the segments that you deal with, oil changes, haircuts, are those things increasing now because of the tariffs? I mean, are the products that the people that do hair and make hair, are those products raising up so that the price of these services are increasing? Do you see that already?
Yes, when businesses pay more for supplies, they pass the cost down onto you because it's logical. If I used to go to a supplier and I pay 55 cents for something, remember we're all in it to make a profit, and now it's 75 cents. I have to raise my price to meet that because remember we got to talk about gas, we got to talk about employees, we have to talk about taxes, we have to talk. So like I tell you, the middle class, we're the one that get hit, with all the economic downfalls that's
Right.
going on.
We're the spenders.
We're the spenders. We are the spenders because either we're not high enough to care about certain things or not low, but everyday things that we do, we have to buy eggs, we have to buy milk, we have to buy gas because we got to go to work.
No doubt, no doubt. I mean, and keep in mind that the middle class has shifted
Right.
over the years. Many years ago, I mean,
Right.
if you're in six figures, you're in the middle class.
Right.
So it's very tough. And then, so I don't really understand, when we go and we don't do politics here.
Right, we don't.
So we try to stay away from. But I
Politicking.
will say the current administration.
Right.
When you look at the job reports and all the things that they have cut, they're not going to be able to say we created jobs. They're going to be able to say, there's less people working right now. The unemployment rate has to be higher. It has to be higher today because there have been so many, there's been so many programs affected and stuff like that. So, what can small business owners do? Man,
We're seeing less disposable income.
right.
And I always tell people, I'm not a financial advisor, but I know I deal in finance and I see when my clients come in. And this is the first year that I'm telling my clients that come in and get their taxes done, put away half It's your money. I can't tell you what to do with your money.
But this is a
But I've
suggestion.
never ever, like last year, the year before, say put away half. We need that rainy day cushion. You need that rainy day cushion. Yes, it's good to have all of this money, but I always tell people pay yourself first. And I learned this from someone. I don't know ethically if it's correct, but she's like, all my bills, light, water, gas, I cut them in half, and I pay half. And I put, and even the Bible said put 10% away to Him. You got to put 10% away for yourself too. With this economic thing that's going on, the light company will always get paid. So if
Right.
you pay half and have at least $2,000, $3,000 inside of your bank account for disposable income, I think that's good versus paying the light company and don't know if something happened for car breakdown. Like my car oil change was $756. What if you didn't have that sitting down? That could put you in financial ruin.
Yeah.
So right now, with less disposable income, because we're spending out more to pay for gas, to pay for food and everything, be smart with your money if you're getting any money back. Please be smart.
Now that's a pretty interesting concept, and
Right.
it's a great suggestion
Right.
because in my mind, in this day and age, you want to stay as liquid as you can.
Right.
Right.
You
Yes.
know, you want to kind of lessen your debt
Right.
because we wake up every morning and we don't know what direction this
Right.
country is going in.
Or company.
Company or
Or
country,
country, right.
Right. And so,
Yeah.
I learned a long time ago because I think past presidents, again,
Right.
staying away from politics, would always talk about the trickle down effect.
Right.
Well, again, even when the economy goes bad, the very very rich people start looking at ways to cut. Also,
Right.
they start looking at ways to cut some of the fluff. Hey, I used to own a box suite at State Farm Arena. Well, guess
Right.
what? We can give that up. Think about that.
Yeah,
Now,
right.
I happen to work for a very very good company.
Right.
That we market alcoholic beverages. So my point is that for so long you're seeing different trends right now. For so
Right.
long, the alcohol business used to be recession proof, so to speak. Now we're learning that it's not 100% recession proof. People still like to get their drink on, but people
Right.
are doing this a little bit more today. Seriously. So we're I think I said all that to really piggyback on what you guys are talking about. The
Right.
uncertainty.
Right.
Yes.
We're dealing with the uncertainty
Right.
of things that have been, I would say, status quo for so long
Right.
financially.
Right.
And so when you're dealing with companies and stuff right now, Letitia, are you having to change your outlook at your approach when you're talking to these people because of the diversity?
I think the big thing is math is still mathing.
Oh, of course.
1 plus 1 is 2.
It's always
Math
gonna be
never
two.
changes, yeah.
So if we start from that perspective, a corporation's going to be making business decisions that are going to increase their profitability.
Right.
And so if I understand how profits are calculated, you've got revenues and you've got expenses. There's some more underneath that, but fundamentally that's what it is. So if we know that there are economic conditions that is
Yes.
hurting their profitability, they're going to be either trying to increase their revenues or they're going to try some other way to decrease costs that they can control.
Right.
And so that's where those decisions are being made. And so when I'm having that conversation with a corporation, I got to be speaking their language. Here's how I can either add revenue to your business or how I can help you cut costs.
Right.
And if you're not solving that problem for them, then you're going to put yourself at a disadvantage. You're not solving their problem.
Right.
So if we're coming from that perspective as a diverse business or a small business, then we should be thinking agilely about how business gets done. If there are employees that are doing work today, but I've got a technology solution,
They're going to get rid of you.
that's what happens.
That's
Well,
what
that is I think the future.
We
Because-
have to acknowledge
Yeah,
that.
it is so funny. So now we're actually to that point right now, Letitia, where we're going to take a little break. We're going to step back, and then we're going to come back after this next song, and we're going to really get into it because you just said a mouthful right there. So I deeply appreciate that. All right, guys, we're going to step out here just a second and give these young ladies a break, and we'll be right back soon